This whole plan that's going on has been around for thousands of years, since Babylon, since ancient Egypt, ancient, when Egypt had electricity and Wi Fi, Babylon as well. This all has happened before. It's been the plan for it to happen again. The world has the world of whoever these people are who make Agenda 21 and Agenda 2020, Agenda 2030, the Georgia Guidestones. They say their plans, what they're going to do. The information's on the internet, which everyone is on right now. If you're watching this, which you are. This has all been the plan. The plan was there. I only learned about the plans kinda like 12 years ago. 2008. How many hours did I spend trying to help people understand the dangers of what was happening to put these plans into place? We had to first all be put into jeopardy. And now everyone's at home, apparently, in this world, which is dubious in existence at best. I wondered last night if it was just gonna go on like this until we realized I realized there's no point in giving a shit. Just watch it. Just watch the movie. You know? Just watch the fucking world. And watch Agenda 2020 happen, Agenda 2030. The mark of the UPC, the digital beast. But has this really happened before? I think so. Yeah. And submitting to religion is not a good idea. I know that this is not true of all members of any religion, but I live in a godless New England. It's pretty godless. Church has never been a big thing. Christmas vanished like 15 years ago, maybe 10 years ago. Just, then we changed it to Happy Holidays and took the Christmas out. And yeah, I understand these are all pagan holidays, and they've been repurposed to have mass appeal or fit into whoever whoever wins the war and absorbs the culture ish. Easter was celebrated for what? All kinds of old festivals. Christmas, winter equinox. Some star disappears for 3 days and rises again. So they call it Jesus or something. And he's rising or whatever Christmas is. I don't know what Christmas is. And then there's Easter. which is a deeply encoded situation, possibly between Ishtar, Nana, and myself. She resurrected me from wherever I was 2 nights ago, and the night before that, we had a great night. And there's Halloween, where the veil between living and dead is said to be thin due to whatever, the well-trodden path of history, maybe. And in some place like, I don't know, I think somewhere in China, maybe, they light candles, paths, so and I've only seen that happen in this area, like, maybe once. It was impressive. The whole road was lined with candles, so the souls of the dead could navigate at night. Like, they needed that. Maybe it was symbolic of respect, putting the candles out. But I know there's a lot of very intense Christians, evangelicals maybe more than others, I don't know. The Mormons are pretty interesting. I wouldn't say Old Testament as much as old-fashioned, but I'm not trying to be angry at anyone or whatnot. The Christians are the most unfortunate, perhaps, in the weakest positions, I would say. It could be the strongest. Yeah, it could be strong. Could be a strong point. I'm sure there are plenty of strong points. I mean, the point is, people gave up their trust and their power and the government, to the government and such, to the point that the government became strong enough to do this all. It used to be best to be like, who's the tyrant? You know, who's at fault? And blame yourself. You know, because you are the world. And when you become the world, you see there's a lot you can't see, especially when there's limited media. You have to trust your instincts and just try to find any information about the world that you think's useful. Islam does not belong in America or the West. Periodically they invade, you know, Christian lands and are repelled. It happens every few thousand years. Probably around the time of Babylon was the last time. Maybe not. Depends on the area, I guess. The region of the world. So people don't want to fight for anything, then I can't help them. I've been fighting for a long time. I think it's been a while. As far as I know, I've never been in the military. Officially. Never went to Marine or Army or Air Force or any kind of boot camp where you have to go somewhere like Paris Island and roll around with friggin' sand fleas that are weaponized to be a plague against our own soldiers. And then fight in Vietnam when the government gave us shitty weapons. Our troops, the worst crap. And didn't care. Then they eventually sent out cleaning kits when they knew the obvious problems, but they needed to kill some people and make some money. But we never wanted to win that war. Our government, the governments, these wars are never fought to win. That map of the world on the wall has been the same for how long? How long has it been since a nation was even renamed? The borders stand, and that's the borders stand, but the invasions happen. The illegal immigrants, Islam, and the Arabs, the locusts, the Arabs, they need to leave Western countries. They need to leave America and Europe, the UK, Ireland, Scotland, Sweden, Germany. The illegal immigrant Hispanics are most of them, but there's 2 million illegal immigrant Arabs here. We would assume 80%, 70, 60, 50% of them are Muslim, at least, if they're Arab. So 2 million Arab illegal immigrants overstayed work or student visas and disappeared into their Muslim enclaves, from which they will fan out in a war. But the border, the southern border, is probably of most concern and of like almost least concern, because militarily, in a straight up military invasion, which apparently already happened, we're fighting there. We should just be totally devastating on that situation. Drop enough Moabs and bunker busters, and those, the bunker busters hit the ground, screw into the ground, and then explode at varying depths, like depth charges. And that'll collapse caves. But really, there's the highways that the government's built, and then there's the other ones that are built by the cartels, and I guess we got Hezbollah and different Muslim terrorist groups in South America. They can use those tunnels too. So it was years ago I was talking about the Ogdoads, the originals, and the idea of the Hispanics have been slaughtering the blacks for a while. That movie, End of Watch, good example, and that's an old movie. And that situation had been going on a long time before that movie was made. So, ideally, whites and blacks would work together against the illegal immigrants, all of them. I mean, the blacks were enslaved by the Arabs and trafficked for a long time, but I mean, I look at the situation now and I'm like, oh, this is the type of situation where the Africans sold themselves and each other into slavery for a better life. It's kind of a crappy situation. And yeah, then it becomes a matter of faith. Is it a matter of faith or a matter of survival? Understanding history, understanding La Raza, understanding the mindset of groupthink. We are tribal peoples. We're not going to have a truce between America or white Americans and Hispanics. It's not going to happen because they believe they have greater numbers. But if we work together, whites and blacks, we can repel the 40 million illegal immigrants and the Arab slavers and the grooming rape squads that the Arabs are famous for. And that's in a lot of Europe too. It's very unfortunate. It's like first thing in the morning for me. I just woke up a while ago. It's almost noon. So, when people have free will, what can you do? I'm hundreds of miles northeast of even New York. Nobody can travel. What can you do? What can you guys do? What can